Welcome to the Urban Cowgirl Show. This is part 2 of obstacles review for my Morgan horses here at Shadrack Farms, and this is Semi. We've got on her a vaulting surcingle. We're not going to get up on her back today, but if we need the extra added cues of body language, leg pressure, and a bridle with reins, we'll get up on her bareback having the handles of this vaulting surcingle. We're going to ask Semi to do the next step. She did east to west, or the short side of this teeter-totter, really nicely, and you can see that on part 1 of this video. But the long path on it is a little bit challenging to her. It was in the past, and then we got her past it, but then it came back. So we've got Sierra there on the opposite side of the teeter-totter, who's going to be like a minimal wall, nothing too high pressure. She's got an arm extension in her hand, just a piece of white PVC. And she's going to just slightly raise her arms. We also did one more thing to break this task up into smaller steps. We put an extra piece of wood under the high side of the teeter-totter. So in fact, when Semi walks across, it's just like walking on a bridge that's not quite level. But we don't expect it to move. Although she sure, I think, will remember that in the past it has moved. However, if she's walking across it and she doesn't feel that it's moving, maybe we'll keep her focus. We're going to do approach retreat. Semi knows Katie really well. We're just going to have Semi walk up to it. Katie's going to stop her and then back her off. We're going to give Semi a chance to investigate. There. She almost always investigates whatever we ask her to do. Let's see if she elects. Let's see. I would say don't back her off. Just see what she does. Can you step aside? That's it. Give her the option to step on it. She's still checking it out. This is real time. You're seeing what's going through her mind by watching her body language. And she's looking around. She's looking at Sierra. She's looking at me. I think she's wondering why we're not asking her to step up on it. And she said, no, I'm going to walk away from this thing. So it's time to do retreat. Retreat. This is a Clinton Anderson term. Approach and then retreat. One small step at a time. Oh, look at that. The teeter-totter broke on this end. So it did, in fact, move. We need to strengthen it up. That's okay. She was fine on it. She backed off. I would say don't go back on it. Katie, we're going to fix it and give her a chance to continue the journey across the stable teeter-totter. And then move to something very similar, and that is the stable big steps. Go ahead, Katie. Let's try it across the short end, east-west across the low end. And if she does that without hesitation, no hesitation now, okay. Turn around, give her a good straight run to it. Not even having to stop and investigate. Good. Now here's the challenge. Can you go back out to the driveway? Give her a straight run. Stay out of her way. See if she'll step up to the high step of the big steps. And then she has to step off without hesitation. Okay, let her think about it. There you go. Good. We didn't rush her. We just gave her the option to either go ahead, back off. Let's try it again. I think that was good. We're going to do each one of the obstacles here in our obstacles area with all 3 horses. With Semi, we just have a rope halter on. With Sadie, we'll probably use the Monty Roberts dually halter. That's my youngest mare. With Eve, we'll probably do them all with drive lines. Think about it. Good, good. She did it the first time. I wasn't sure she'd do it the second time. Okay, another thing we did with Eve yesterday was we did some driveline work around the barrels. Just walk Semi around the barrels. And the idea here is to get an arc, to hug the barrels, to serpentine around them. With lead line, unless you have a spooky horse, it should be easy. You want them soft and light. Good. With drive line, it's a little bit more challenging. In saddle, we not only do it forward, we do it backward. And that's real challenging. We're going to try to show you all of these things. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, now what I'd like you to do, I'm going to zoom in, go to the bridge that's in front of the box. Let her investigate that it's a bridge, because it's going to make noise since it's wood. And I'm walking towards it with my tripod. Good. Stop in the box. Stop. Good. Now turn around and go out this way, towards the west. In saddle, when we do this, we actually do a whole spin, a 360. Oh, okay. Yeah, Semi's good on that. Okay, so what are the challenges here today that we want to pose with Semi? She's doing so well. How about the balance beam? We're going to send Sierra over there. She probably doesn't even know what a balance beam is. But Katie will explain, and Sierra, you're going to be like a little wall there too. And this is an 8-foot with about 6 inches to 8 inches across lumber. And Katie is going to try to convince Semi to walk across it. That means she has to know that all fours are going to travel across this very narrow. She didn't quite make it. She only made about 4 foot. So we repeat. We're going to show her that the right answer is all 8 foot of it. And we have done it with Semi easily in the past in saddle. You look beyond. Look beyond. Just looking beyond helps her to think about going beyond. Very nice. And everything you do with horses is done from both directions. So go back around and coming from east to west. Do the same thing. And that's right, Sierra, you move to the other side. Now, Sierra's being a wall, but safety's number one. So I told her if there's any concern, she moves away. But otherwise, just being there helps to guide Semi. Perfect. Gosh, this is so easy. We're going to do one more thing then. Come over here to the L. We've gone through the L forward. We're going to challenge Semi today with lead line to back through the L, which means when you get to the corner, you need to stop her and ask her to move her haunches over. So first Katie went through forward. Now we're doing a backward. She's very careful. She's got good. Good. Stay in within the L. Semi's being real cautious. Good. She doesn't want to step on those rails. They are connected with hardware. Can you do it the other direction? And that's all we're going to challenge Semi with today. We're going to do similar sessions with Sadie and Eve. And then move on to the other challenging obstacles here. And we'll get that teeter-totter fixed within a few days. Back, back, a nice straight back. Forward, her front end over, back, back, back. And that path is not exactly flat. There are some outcroppings of rock and some flower stems and so forth. So it's a little bit challenging to ask a horse to go backwards through something. And I'm feeling really good about what we did today. I wouldn't mind doing this just to finish, and I hope I'm not making a mistake. Can you go over to the high end and let her investigate of the teeter-totter? We're not going to have her walk across because it's broken here on the low end, piece of lumber split. I just want her to investigate because, you know, when we finally do get her to go across, we're going to have her go both directions, which means on that end she has to step up real high and walk down to the low end. And then we'll remove the extra piece of wood that we put under the high end. And when she steps up on the high end, it will go down. So let's see what she's going to say about just standing in investigation. She's great at investigating. Real sweet. Back her off as if you were doing approach retreat. And I wouldn't mind if she decided to put her 2 front feet up there, but she may decide not to. Pirelli always says first head, then neck, then feet. She's investigating. She's thinking, well, am I supposed to step up there? She's trying to lift that. Yes. Yes. And she checked it out. And you know what? That's good. That's good investigation. And one more thing. Actually, I forgot this. We moved the 2 cavalettis over here. What I'd like you to do is take her over the cavalettis, but instead of going straight, as soon as you get over one of them, turn. Make a 90-degree turn and have her, there you go, over the other one. This time when you go over that one, make a sharp 90. Very good. Okay, now I'm calling that our moment of resolution because we had no refusals from Semi. We had her show us willingness, investigation, and we're ready to move on the next time we work with Semi here in the obstacles. We're getting her to be confident, and we're getting ourselves to be confident. We're getting mutual confidence in the trail obstacles. And we know that that kind of mutual confidence is going to be real helpful when we're out on the trail where there are endless spooky objects. Here's Sadie in the L. We just walked through forward. Sierra is kind of new to Sadie. Sierra has some riding experience. See if you can back her up without turning. Just back straight like 3 steps. A little tug, tug, tug with your hands. Use your legs to guide her. See, she's not seeing where she's going. There's some rock outcroppings. Good. Okay, now let her front end go around and you can walk forward out the rest of the L. The objective eventually is to walk backwards through the L and turn her at the corner backwards. What a challenge. But if a horse knows that's what the task is, they'll do it for you. We did this with Semi in our last session with just a lead line. Walked through, showed her what the path was, and then walked back. And I'm showing you what it's going to take to get Sadie to do it with Sierra aboard, with just some, we hope, just a few notes of how to do it, and just a few good right answers. That's right. Now, legs forward, sit on your pockets, and just a little give and take tug, and ask her with your voice, back, back. She'll back straight if you've got her back rounded. Good, good. And I'll tell you what, just go forward now. She's a little distracted by the flies, but go forward now. Do it again. The less you use your reins, the better. Walking in a straight path backwards is much harder than most people think. You're going to have to use your leg to get her front end over. Use your left leg to get her front end over. To do these obstacles, you need to be able to move the 5 body parts of your horse. So if Sierra finds out that she can't do it, we'll break it down into the 5 important body part cues, and she'll practice that in the arena, on the sanded arena, flat arena, and come back and try it here in the L. It's a feel, it's timing, it's cues, it's horse knowing the right answer and willing to give it to you. Your body language is going to tell her good, good, good. Okay, all right. It's kind of a tight path, but you did it. You did it. And because you've never done it before, and because we only have a short amount of time available today, we're not going to try it again. But do you see, Sierra, what's involved? Can you imagine what you're going to have to do if you're going to turn her around the corner and back her? Mm-hmm. right? You can practice that a number of different ways and then come back here and see if you can do it in the L that we made with white vinyl rails that have hardware keeping them together. Okay, now our teeter-totter is still broken but on its way to being fixed. So when that's fixed, we'll try that in saddle. But I think that Sadie will be okay. Let's try this just because I'm pretty sure we won't have any trouble. Going across the lower step of the big steps. I think she'll be fine. Now, what are you going to do it? Look beyond. Don't look at her. Don't look at the step. Look beyond. She'll feel what it is that you want. And then urge her on. Good. And of course, this is an obstacles area. There are branches. There are other obstacles. Now make a nice U-turn and go the other direction. We do everything in both directions. No problem. Okay, well, we're not going to do from the short to the high step and then off this high drop. We're not going to do that today because if we have a problem with it, we don't want to stop before we've gotten the right answer. So we just showed you a very short session. And to tell you the truth, we just brought Sadie back from a trail ride. We wanted her to have the opportunity to trail ride in this good weather, and she was perfect. She got an A+. And that's all for today. Sonia Sokolow, the Urban Cowgirl. Hey, today we're going to work with Eve in the L that we have at the Shadrack Farms Obstacles area. I've been working with my horses from the ground through the L, frontwards and backwards. And I knew I was going to want to do it from saddle pretty soon, and lo and behold, on RFD TV just a couple days ago, Buck Brannaman did a segment on backing through an L, and he emphasized some really important aspects of asking a horse to go backwards and then turn in the backwards direction. So I'm doing this with Eve with a side pull on her nose, and my cameraman will slowly zoom in so you can see what a side pull is. I also have a pair of double reins on the side pull control rings. They are reins that we've used in the past with Eve. If we let them hang on the neck, but if she throws up her head, which is one of her ways of getting away from pressure, we pick up the double reins and we ask for flexion. And at the same time, vertical flexion. I'm squeezing a little with my legs because we want the back not to be hollow. I'm going to ask for collection and vertical flexion like that and then give her immediate reward. I don't even know how Eve will do today with this task in saddle. I'm showing you from the get-go. And if it works, if it goes well, I'm going to have Angela get up and try it herself because she doesn't have a lot of experience, but we'll see what problems we have. If I can do it and she can't, we'll try to analyze what's wrong. Okay, so I'm holding the double reins along with my reins. First I'm going to go forward, looking into the L, not at her ears, not at her neck. Looking to the right. Whoa. That was soft and light. Now I'm going to see if I can do it backwards. First I need to back straight. So I can't bend, lean in the saddle. I'd be changing the balance. So I have to look, though, to help her understand where her feet are. And then I'm going to very lightly ask for a back. I want it to go slow. Didn't that go nicely? But you know, if she had stepped on the rails, these are vinyl rails connected with hardware, she might have gotten spooked. So even though I made this task look quite easy just now because she's done it before, and I knew I had to help her ever so slightly. I've got the right tools on to keep her light, and we just got a flat saddle on to give us a place to put our feet with the stirrups. We could have done this bareback. We could have done it with the vaulting surcingle, which has handles, but it seemed appropriate to just put that flat saddle on her with the breast collars, so that the double reins, let me show you, they go down here and connect to the front of the breast collar. Then if I don't need them, I just drop them on her neck. They're out of my way, out of my hands. Okay, now I'm going to do this. She did so well. I'm going to now back her out, walk her forward through the L coming this direction, and then see if I can back her around the L. Notice that there are outcroppings here on the ground, so she's going to be feeling those. It's not completely flat. It's not an arena. It's not sand. You know, ranch versatile horses, they need to do it here, there, and everywhere. So that's why we practice and train here, there, and everywhere. I'm looking over her ears. I'm squeezing ever so slightly. I don't even have spurs on, not for this exercise. I'm asking for her to bring her head down. She's not. Let's see if I can get her head down with the help of these double reins. Back. Okay, now I drop the double rein. I'm going to walk forward. By the way, I don't know if you saw that. It's probably in camera, but there was a cat up ahead, and Eve is real concerned about cats and bunnies and things like that, but she was good. Whoa, whoa. I don't want to pull hard. Now she's looking that way, and my little mini cattle are that way, which they're not usually there, but they are there today. Look at her ears. Watch ears to know some things about body language and attitude. Her ears, she's definitely listening to me, but she also sees those cows. Can you turn around and look at them for a moment so that it's obvious what she is seeing through the trees? A bull and two heifers just standing there calmly, but maybe she's concerned. Maybe she can't quite focus. And that is the creek bank, and there are often predators coming through the fences there on the creek bank. Okay, Kyle, who's my cameraman, you can turn this way again. Now I am going to, I'm not using the double reins, I'm taking this 1 second at a time. I'm looking to my right, squeezing a little bit with my right calf. Now I'm looking to my left, little bit of rein. Whoa, whoa. I don't want to hold hard with both reins, but I did tug a little bit. She's still looking over there at the creek bank. Let's see if going this direction. Look at her head though. You see, she's avoiding. She's avoiding. No, I'm not gonna ask for anything when she is giving me that kind of body language. Good. As soon as she gives me the body language that I want, the pressure goes away. I put the reins down, the double reins. I move my legs away from her side of her body. No, she's given me that bad body language again. There you go. Okay. I'm going to ask for her back. Now I'm looking out of the side of my eye. I'm going to stop here. Let her look. Let me look. Kind of in the corner here. I'm going to try to get her hind end over. Now she's a misunderstanding and going forward. So I'm using a little right, whoop, little right rein. Can I get her to swing her hips ever so slightly to my left, to her left? A little bit of leg pressure. Good. A little more. Whoa. Whoa. I did have to use 2 rein pressure just then. You see she's about to step on the final rail. Look at her ears. Look at her up-headedness. She's not sure what she's seeing up front there. But I'm giving her time to absorb the environment. Whoop. Whoa, very nice. Okay, now I'm going to walk through, look to my left, Didn't even have to cue her. Hope. Watching her body language. And I would consider that first test run a success. You can see that going in this direction was a little bit more difficult. I broke it up into little steps, but sometimes when you stop, rather than just making it a smooth path, you lose their focus. So it's a hard one to call. You just have to, from experience, and use timing and watch body language and try to make it a successful run. I try never to stop on a bad note because that's something they'll remember. They'll remember the bad experience. So even if I couldn't have done it, I would have gone to something else here in the obstacles area that I know she can do, and I would have asked her to do it and then stop on that note. That's a learning principle that you can use with animals, humans, and everything else alike. Learning is best done, long-term learning, if what you learn was a good experience. Okay, well, I'm going to have my cameraman turn off the camera. We're going to reevaluate whether or not that was perhaps a little bit too difficult for Angela to do. And then we'll decide what is the next step. And if we don't turn the camera back on today, you'll see us another day. Well, as a postscript, we decided not to have Angela work on it today, but instead we fixed the teeter-totter. It broke a couple days ago, and Eve is my best teeter-totter horse. So we got off saddle, and Angela's just going to lead Eve across the teeter-totter with the lead line. While I'm down off the saddle, notice this is a side pull. Nice control of the head without putting something in the mouth. These are the double reins when they're not connected. Alragusine, dancinghorseshow.com is where I got them years ago. And here's a piece of PVC. Why do I have this? I just want to make a wall, a visual wall here, in case Eve hesitates when she goes on the teeter-totter. But I don't expect her to. You'll see, because we'll show you. We're going to do it right now. Didn't she make that look easy? A lot of horses will not do that for a long, long time until you train them and make them realize that this moving bridge is not something to worry about. You just saw Eve do it beautifully, and it held up. We have fixed it, and we're going to continue to work with it with her daughter Sadie and Semi, my best cow horse here at Shadrack Farms. See more at www.urbancowgirlchannel.com.